I'm Eddie Muller. Today, Noir Alley presents a film that many people consider to be the pinnacle of the film noir movement. I am often asked, what is the definitive film noir? And there are only two possible answers: Double Indemnity and the film we're watching today. It's Out of the Past, made at RKO in 1947 and featuring perhaps the sexiest triangle in movie history: Robert Mitchum, Jane Greer, and Kirk Douglas, with Rhonda Fleming in the mix for good measure. Unlike Double Indemnity, made at prestigious Paramount with much fanfare and an A-list cast, Out of the Past wasn't meant to be much more than a hearty but typical B-plus programmer, a specialty of the house at RKO, which I like to call the House of Noir. Robert Mitchum was not yet a big star. Although he'd signed a long-term contract with RKO, other actors were considered for the lead role of Private Eye Jeff Bailey, including Humphrey Bogart, Pat O'Brien, John Garfield, and Dick Powell. But after a string of exceptional films, including the story of G.I. Joe, Crossfire, and the noir-stained western Pursued, Mitchum had forged an undeniable screen presence, even if his laconic acting style was denigrated by co-stars like Katharine Hepburn. Mitchum was 29 when he made this film, a Hepcat way ahead of his time. Undeniable also applies to his co-star, 30-year-old Kirk Douglas, appearing in only his third film, but making his character, smarmy gangster Whit Sterling, one of the most memorable villains ever. It was Douglas's third film, but it's the debut of his big screen persona. Accent on the big. The screen can barely contain this man's brash cockiness. Jane Greer was coming off a wonderful role in Joan Harrison's noir They Won't Believe Me, the first real character she'd played after nothing but cardboard cuties in Minor B's. She's only 22 years old here, but under the direction of Jacques Tourneur, Greer becomes a femme fatale for the ages, right up there with Barbara Stanwyck's Phyllis Dietrichson. The blueprint for this all-time classic was a then unpublished piece of pulp fiction called Build My Gallows High by Jeffrey Holmes, the pen name of former newspaperman and Private Eye Daniel Mannering, born in Oakland, California in 1902. A number of writers took a crack at adapting the book, including James M. Cain, the author of Double Indemnity. His script was abandoned, however, and Mannering, who'd written several B films by this point, ended up adapting his own novel, with a major assist from British writer Frank Fenton, who conjured most of Mitchum's memorable voiceover narration. Credit producer Warren Duff with guiding the script through these numerous iterations and for picking the perfect combination of director and cinematographer to bring it to life. Jacques Tourneur had learned movie making from two masters: his father, French director Maurice Tourneur, whom he apprenticed with as a young man, and producer Val Lewton, for whom Tourneur directed the humble horror classics Cat People, I Walked with a Zombie, and The Leopard Man. Since he's French, let's just say that Tourneur had a feel for mise en scène as good as any director in Hollywood. The story races through dozens of locations, and Tourneur imbues every one with a distinctive feel. In my opinion, this is the best art-directed noir of them all. And getting maximum moodiness out of every camera setup is DP Nicholas Musuraca, another major contributor to those shadowy Val Lewton masterpieces. Whether he's shooting the vastness of the Sierra Mountains or the cramped confines of a San Francisco apartment, Musuraca gets maximum effect out of every image. The collaboration of Tourneur and Musuraca resulted in a film that defines the noir style. Out of the Past got good reviews when it was released in late 1947, but no one could have predicted the reputation the film would accrue over the years. Once film scholars recognized noir as a major artistic movement in the history of Hollywood, Out of the Past was soon revered as an exemplar of the form. It became so well known and loved that Robert Mitchum and Jane Greer reunited for a sketch parody of the film on Saturday Night Live 40 years after they'd made the original. Greer also appeared in a 1984 remake called Against All Odds, playing the mother of the woman she played in the 1947 film. But nothing can top the original. It is 100 proof noir, but goes down, oh, so smoothly. Enjoy Out of the Past.